All right, let's get right into it. We hear this word gamification thrown around all the time, right? And usually we think of, loyalty cards or fitness apps. But what if the real secret behind gamification has almost nothing to do with games at all? Today, we're going to peel back the layers and look at a framework that actually decodes what makes us tick, what truly drives human motivation.
So first things first, we have to challenge the idea that probably just popped into your head. Because to really get this, we kind of have to unlearn what we think we know about gamification. So let me ask you straight up. When you hear that word gamification, what's the very first thing that pops into your mind? Just take a second.
If you're like pretty much everyone else, it's some combination of these three, right? You get points for doing things, you earn badges for hitting milestones, and you climb leaderboards to beat your friends. That's the formula, right? Well, not really.
And this quote from gamification expert Yu Kaisho just hits the nail on the head. You can't just sprinkle some game mechanics on top of a boring task and magically make it fun. A product with a point system can still be a total drag. A chore with a badge can still feel, well, like a chore. In fact, there's a name for this whole misunderstanding. It's called the PBL fallacy. The mistaken belief that points, badges, and leaderboards are somehow the source of engagement. They're not. They're often just the result of a system that's already engaging for other reasons. This analogy is just perfect. Trying to motivate people with just PBLs is like building that giant, impressive wooden horse. It looks the part, it's got the shape of a game, but if you forget to put the soldiers inside the actual human motivators, then it's just an empty box. It's not going to do anything. So, what's the alternative? The real answer is to flip our whole perspective. We need to stop focusing on the task and start focusing on the human being doing the task. And this chart really lays it all out. See, most of the systems in our lives are function-focused. Think about doing your taxes online. It's built for one thing, efficiency. It assumes you have to do it. But human-focused design, which is what real gamification is, starts from a totally different place. It assumes people have a choice, that they can walk away at any second. So it has to optimize for feelings, for motivation, to make people genuinely want to be there. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we design for feelings? Well, this is where we get to the core of it all. There's a framework that breaks down all human motivation into 8 core drives. This is it. It's called the Octalysis framework. And the big idea here is that everything you do, literally every action you take, is because of one or more of these 8 drives. If a system has none of these drives, well, there's zero motivation and nothing happens. So let's quickly walk through them. First up, epic meaning and calling. This is that powerful urge to feel like you're part of something bigger than just yourself. It's why people spend countless hours editing Wikipedia articles for free. They're not getting paid. They're driven by the belief that they're contributing to and protecting humanity's knowledge. Next, we've got development and accomplishment. This is our internal engine for wanting to get better at things, to overcome challenges, and to see progress. Now, this is where our old friends, points, badges, and leaderboards actually belong. They're not the motivation itself, they're just the mile markers that show us we're moving forward. Number 3 is empowerment of creativity and feedback. This is the pure fun of tinkering, of trying things out just to see what happens. It's exactly why playing with Lego is so addictive. There's no single goal. The process of building and creating is its own reward. Then we have ownership and possession. This one's pretty simple. Once we feel like we own something, we naturally want to make it better and add to it. This is why you might spend ages customizing your avatar or social media profile. It feels like an extension of you. At number 5 is social influence and relatedness. And wow, this one is a giant. It covers everything from collaboration and mentorship to flat-out competition and envy. We're social animals, and so much of what we do is shaped by the people around us. Number 6 is scarcity and impatience. We're just wired to want things that are exclusive or hard to get. This drive is the engine behind every limited time offer you've ever seen. Remember when Facebook was only for people with a .edu email address? That scarcity made everyone else desperate to get in. Then there's number 7, unpredictability and curiosity. Our brains love to find patterns, so when something is unpredictable, it grabs our full attention. This is why we can't stop scrolling through a social media feed. You just never know what you're going to see next. It's a slot machine for information. And finally, number 8 is loss and avoidance. This is a really powerful one. It's the motivation to act just to stop something bad from happening. Think about a deal that's about to expire or a daily login streak you don't want to break. The fear of losing out can be a huge driver of action. Okay, so now we know the 8 drives, but just knowing what they are isn't quite the full picture. There's another layer to this framework that explains why some of these motivators make us feel good and why others can feel a little, well, manipulative. So if you look at the octagon, you can split it a couple of ways. The drives on the right side are called right brain drives. They're tied to creativity, social connection, and curiosity. The left brain drives on the left are more about logic and ownership. But here's the really fascinating part. The drives at the top, like epic meaning and accomplishment, are called white hat. They make us feel powerful and in control. The drives at the bottom, like scarcity and loss avoidance, are called black hat. They create a sense of urgency and obsession. They work, for sure, but if you overuse them, they can leave people feeling pretty crummy. A truly great design finds a balance between them all. So when you put all of this together, what you get is a brand new lens to see the world through. Let's apply it to something we all know really, really well. Take a look at this Octalysis analysis of Facebook. You can immediately see where its power comes from. It's off the charts for Core Drive 5, social influence. Of course it is. And it's super strong in Core Drive 7, unpredictability, thanks to that endless newsfeed. But look at where it's weak. Almost 0 on epic meaning. This chart doesn't just show that we use Facebook, it helps explain why we use it and why it often feels addictive without always feeling that satisfying. And that's really the key takeaway here. This whole framework, it's not just for building better software or games. It's a tool for understanding the hidden forces behind our own behavior. You can use it to figure out why a project at work is so motivating, or why you can't stick to a new habit. It's a decoder ring for what makes people do what they do. So that brings me to my last question for you. When you think about your own life, your job, your hobbies, the things that get you out of bed in the morning, which of these 8 core drives do you think really motivates you the most? It's something to think about.